everybody, Mr. Poestyle here again. Look at my super sweet shirt. I know what you're all thinking. You're thinking, Mr. Poestyle, you actually paid money for that? Hey, it was cheap. Look at that. Oh, it's my Hawaiian shirt with Batman and Joker duking it out. Surfing competition. I remember watching that. I remember whenever 1989, the Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson Batman movie came out, and one of our local channels started showing the 1960s Batman. Just showed a ton of them. I think the weekend that that movie came out, all the episodes in the movie or whatever. And I remember sitting there, and I had seen some of them before, but I was really getting into them because I was geeked to watch Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton in the new movie. And sitting there, my dad had actually watched them back in his day, you know, back in the 60s when he was in the Navy and stuff, had watched them. So he sat there and watched those episodes with me, and we had a good time. And yeah, that's the best Joker of all time. Cesar Romero, best Joker of all time. Fight me. Okay, but anyway, the green screen's probably wreaking havoc on him right now, right? Huh? Probably see right through him. But, you know, I've been thinking if the channel is retro games and other rad stuff, and I do a few videos here and there on rad stuff, like the SNES and NES Hallmark ornaments that I got, the tiny Masters of the Universe action figures that I got, my Dragon's Lair cabinet, but that's all new retro. The reason I haven't showed old toy collections, shown things like that, is because all of mine went missing after a move in 2009. I had a trunk, a big trunk, and a big igloo cooler full of my action figures from everything from Star Wars, of course, a ton of Star Wars, Masters of the Universe, a few G.I. Joe things in there, Star Trek, the DC superheroes where you squeeze their legs and they move their arms. I had the Joker from that with a mallet. You know, all kind of toys, and they're lost. So, and I'm not going to recollect them at this point. Video games I will collect. The toys I just don't have room for. Although I still love them and I miss them. My Rancor monster, the Rancor Keeper. Remember that guy? Of course you do. But, you know, and I do have every one of my comics that I collected as a kid. And I even had a subscription to 3 Spider-Man titles back then. What, Spectacular Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, The Web of Spider-Man. I used my paper out money for subscriptions to those, you know, and I had a bunch of Iron Man comics. So I have all of my comics except for one, which was a Robotech comic that I just got rid of a year or two ago. And that was because a work friend of mine and I were talking about old stuff. He still geeks on Robotech to this day. And, you know, I had that, and I was collecting for my Atari 5200 at the time. And just out of nowhere, he said, I got a bunch of my old games, and he just brought them into work and gave them to me. He had them in a shed, you know, and they all still work. And that was just out of the kindness of his heart. So since he was talking about Robotech and those kind of things, I gave him that Robotech comic book. And actually, he came back and told me, you know, he framed it, put it on his wall in his collector's room of all of his stuff. So that's really cool. I mean, he's getting a lot more use out of it that way than I did by having it in a steamer trunk. But yeah, that's most of my retro stuff that I have left is the comics. And, you know, the other thing that I collected big time was Mad Magazine and Crack Magazine in the 80s. And those all got lost too somehow. Just disappeared, vanished. But most recently, I did see something that's actual retro, and it meant a lot to me when I was really little, late 70s, early 80s. And, you know, my brother and I would beg for these. My oldest brother too sometimes, but mostly just my brother that's 2 years older than me. And that's PrestoMagiX. So, do you remember these? Anybody? And this is the Dino Mutt one. And I saw it, and so I ordered it. And it's still sealed for the most part. It's in like one of those comic book collector type of things. What does kind of piss me off a little bit is somebody at some point blackened out the price tag with a marker. I would have liked to have seen where that was from. All of mine came from pretty much the same local grocery store. But when my mom was going shopping, that was the thing. My brother and I would beg for a PrestoMagiX. They had them there. Or we would beg for the little beef jerky in the chew can to pretend we're chewing. Or Big League Chew. We would beg for that stuff too. There were certain things. Yeah, at some point it became the NFL sticker albums and stickers. Everybody was collecting those. But PrestoMagiX was awesome. It was magical. Usually what she would do is buy us both the same exact one, so we weren't fighting around. So, you know, if I got Dynamite, he got Dynamite. I believe we got Batman ones. I know we got Spider-Man ones. There were Dukes of Hazzard ones out. Eventually, Return of the Jedi ones they had come out too. I don't think there were any Empire Strikes Back or New Hope ones before that. And then they would have other ones that were just like guys landing on the moon, you know, kind of generic ones. But this was made by Paper Mate, the Gillette company. Paper Mate, get your school supplies, get your erasable pens and little mechanical pencils and stuff. They made these. And what they are is a little background they would give you. There's your background. That's the bank. And then you put your guys in wherever you want, you know. Blue Falcon, Dynamite, put them in there somewhere. You got your bad guys with the guns, and look at that. Ooh, violence. What's that up on the rail? You even have, it looks like a police officer down, you know, hanging over there. The other one shooting. They're all shooting at each other. But it was a transfer, and it shows you right on the front. There was a piece of paper that had all of your characters on it. The brilliant side of the paper would go down against your background. Then you would take a pencil on the other side of it and rub it until they came out. You had to make sure you fully did it, or else sometimes when you peeled the paper away, you only had the body without the arm. It would stick to it, so it would stay on the paper or something. Sometimes that was funny too, because then we would have dismembered characters laying around the board. Sometimes we would put them together. We each had the Incredible Hulk one, and we had decided to use both Hulks. The Spider-Man one with Dr. Octopus and all of his tentacles. You know, we had the tentacles all over the place, or between some dude's leg like a big mechanical BB, you know. And you know what? It's sealed, but not really sealed. There's marker on it. I'll go ahead and open it up here, and then I'll just put it back in the baggie, because I don't ever plan on reselling. This will go up in my game room somewhere. There's not a lot of room there, but I'll put it up there and just kind of hang it. Let's see how to open this thing. Oh, I can smell the 80s. It smells like fart, a little bit of beer. Beer fart and chicken wings. But it says PrestoMagiX. Transfers are fun, exciting, new activity that allows you to create your own scenes. Collect the many different PrestoMagiX subjects, including adventure, sports, your favorite cartoon characters, TV programs. I think they might have had A-Team ones too. I know that they had Dukes of Hazzard. There was a few of them. Probably a good 4 to 6 of those ones. All with your own large background scenes and plenty of characters. Parents, as you are aware, play is an important part of growing up. PrestoMagiX dry transfer games, they call it a game. It wasn't really a game unless you took turns, maybe rolled a die to see who got to do the coolest character. They're a great way to involve your children in an activity that provides a sense of achievement and the ability to use their growing imaginations. PrestoMagiX allow children of all ages to use creativity and a sense of relationships to produce an endless variety of scenes. By the Gillette Company, Paper Mate Division, Box 61, Boston, Massachusetts. It's 1978 is this one. There's the little guy. He was like their mascot, the little magician. PrestoMagiX. Dry transfer game. It's like a dry hump. Dino Mutt. So, let's open up the background. That's right. I opened it. It was sealed. It really was sealed too. I thought the tab was just taped down. No, it was sealed. Where's my transfer sheet? Oh my goodness. I'm glad I opened this because it's so colorful. Super sweet. You know, and the back of it shows you how to rub one off. Later that would mean something totally different. Most of us hopefully learned that on our own. Didn't need help from a creepy uncle. There he is, Chubbs McGee. It tells you the steps. Peel off the backing paper and place the picture you want into position on the background scene. Make sure the picture sheet is color side up. Scribble closely all over the picture. Okay, so it was color side up. With a ballpoint pen or pencil, making sure the picture sheet does not move. That's where the problem came in. A lot of times you had dudes with fucking, with freaking wrinkled faces, one eyeball right next to each other, missing a limb, something. Carefully peel back the picture sheet from the background, and presto, you've created your own scene. They come in two sizes, standard and maxi. Well, whatever one this is, and it's probably the standard. This is what our grocery store had. And I do remember later when the, I think Return of the Jedi came out, they had a huge one. And let's see. PrestoMagiX subjects are adventures, sports, cartoon characters, TV programs. PrestoMagiX come in two sizes, standard and maxi. Watch for new PrestoMagiX dry transfer games, and we did. Yeah, you'd run in and beg for one of these in a Slim Jim. Remember those Monster Bite cookies? Little tiny cookies that had a bite and they had the monster on the box. And you're like, whoa, the monster bit this cookie. Now I'm going to finish it. And you'd eat it. But here is the background. This is our scene. See, dropping everything here. A bank robbery. There's the police, and they're shooting. Is that a bad guy? That guy's tied up. He needs help. They got a police officer down up here. Pretty violent. There's cash on the floor. There's TNT at the vault. Guns everywhere. 1978, baby. The cool kids. And here's your transfer sheet. And here's the paper they talked about. Take the paper off. This side here with nothing on it goes against your background. Put that on there. Scribble with a pencil or a pen over the picture. Try to be nice and neat about it. And here they are, and we have bullet holes. We have the police. We have dynamite. We have the bad guys. They got knives and guns everywhere. I'm telling you, knives and guns everywhere. And there's Dynamite and Blue Falcon. And there's a guy breakdancing or something. And there's a bone. The guy grabbing gold, and he looks pretty surprised. There's a guy holding a walkie-talkie or something. He's bald-headed. There's somebody with the police. Probably the bank manager. So I thought that was really cool. So this is gonna it's gonna go down in my game room. I'll display it in some way. I'm not gonna rub one off down there. I do play with my joystick down there quite a bit. But I thought it was really neat. And I know Dynomutt's one that we had. I think both of us had. I think we actually might have had it multiple times. You know, the Incredible Hulk and the Spider-Man one's the same way. We both had them, and I think we've had them a few times. But PrestoMagiX, look it up. I'm sure you'll find something on Wiki out there. I found one commercial for it, so it wasn't heavily advertised. I don't know. I don't remember if they advertised these in comic books. But the Return of the Jedi commercial is the one that I found on the YouTube. So look that up. I could put it here, but this is just a quickie video. I gotta get my butt to bed for work in the morning. PrestoMagiX. So much fun, you know, and it just brings back so many great memories of that little grocery store we used to go to. And the guy that I bought it from threw this in, and this is something that I totally forgot about since the 70s or early 80s. I didn't remember. It never crossed my mind, I guarantee you, not even in a dream. The Flintstones fortune teller. He threw this in. I wasn't expecting it. I almost tossed it out with the packaging. I didn't see it at first. And what this was, as you put it in the palm of your hand, and it was body heat that would make it interact, but whatever it did, it told you, not really a fortune, pretty much told you whether you were a douchebag or not. Now, I don't know if it's because this is old now, been sitting around for 40 years, you know, more than 40 years. What's it say on it? Is there a date? Made in Taiwan, made in 1977, so 44 years old. But what it says on the back is, your fortune is, place character in palm of hand, and movement will show. If the head moves, moving head means jealousy. Moving feet, indifference. Moving head and feet, in love. Curling sides, fickle. Turns over, false. If it's motionless, cold sweat. Curls up entirely, excitable. Well, I remember these curling up in different ways when I was a kid. So this one's just 44 years old, broken. But since it was motionless, that means I'm cold sweat. No, I'm hot sweat. It is freaking roasting here right now. But I thought that was pretty neat because I totally forgot about these things. So check it out, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. And let me know if you remember these.